Well, boys, it's a late video tonight. I'm actually on my way to work, or I guess you could just say the shop. I'm on my way to the shop because I'm gonna be replacing my third and fourth gear Synchro. My buddy Dave is gonna, lucky for me, gonna be able to help me. He just can't help me too late. He doesn't want to stay out too long, which is cool. I mean, I get it. I actually don't want to stay out too long either. I'm hoping this will take us maybe 2-3 hours max. Just 2 hours. Taking out the axles to be able to drop the trans, taking things apart, blah blah blah, So the issue I've been having is I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure, my third gear Synchro is out.
Are you sure about that?
What I mean by that is it has these tabs, and I'll show you guys once I get to that point and take out the trans. You hear? I hope you guys heard that. I hope you guys heard that. So what's been going on is, or what tends to happen in these transmissions with the OEM Synchros is the locking tabs that I guess lock the position of the Synchro to the gear are kind of like they overhang, kind of like hooks in a way, and they're weak. They tend to break. So when those break, which there's 3 actually, and I'm pretty sure all 3 have to break to start having these issues. But once those teeth break, your gear is no longer being synchronized, or the synchronizer is no longer doing its job. So that's what's going on. It doesn't always like grind or have that issue, but it's gotten to the point where I have to take care of it. I want to take care of it before it causes any real damage, I guess you could say. So yeah, I'm probably not gonna make a big old video about it. I don't have my head mount, and again, like I said, I want to make this a quick install. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated. Alright guys, so I'm here at the shop. Just wanted to show you real quick what the kit comes with, or at least what I ordered comes with. So I ordered obviously a Synchro for third gear, and because it's on the same stock basically, or whatever you want to call it, as fourth, might as well do fourth. So fourth and third gear Synchro. I'm pretty sure they aren't specific. They look exactly the same. They're not specific to the gear. And then they are carbon lined. If I can take it apart, I'll show you. So that's carbon lined. This is carbon lined. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure what the carbon lining does. I'll look that up and leave a link in the description. Here's the sealant and new axle seals as well. Yep. Well, there she goes again. Well, I guess not again, being that the first time was with my ST. But yeah, so what's going on is I had a slight grind in third gear. Ever since I got the car, it would have like a slight grind going into third gear. I assumed because it was only happening when I would go into third gear that it was the third gear Synchro, which is a common I guess you could say issue with this trans in this car as well as the ST. But upon taking apart my transmission, which took me freaking all night, so when I took that apart and inspected everything, the third gear Synchros are perfect, in perfect shape, nothing wrong with them. I believe I have them at home, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about as far as what's the known cause of said issues with the Synchros. So here are the gear Synchros. I believe third and fourth are exactly the same. I'm pretty sure they're all exactly the same. I don't know, but anyways, this is how it is in 3 parts. And what's known to fail on these are these little ears right here. You see how they're not solid? They're solid on the body, I guess you could say. Yeah, well, those little ears are what tends to break, and then once that breaks,
this whole assembly with the gear itself tends to spin freely. So some people say that one of the differences between the ST transmission, like OEM, that is OEM ST transmission, and RS, is that the RS comes with carbon line synchros. That's what that is. If you could see there, it kind of has oil, but you can kind of see there. And then this center ring here as well. I'm not sure what this is called individually, but yeah. So basically, it goes in like that, and this goes in there, and then this sits within, like, this just sits into the gear basically and locks it together. But yeah, this is my third and fourth gear. They don't look too bad, I would say. I don't know, I'm not sure. This one looks very rounded off if you look at the corners versus this one. They're very jagged, or I don't know if this is what they're supposed to look like, and then this is when they're being fucked up because of a bad shift fork. I would probably say this is probably it. Yeah, this is probably what starts happening to them. Yep, for sure. Look at that. It's getting eaten up whenever it would get put into third because of that bad shift fork. And look at this one. Look how much thicker it is. Yeah, this was getting chewed up. So yeah.
So fast forward about 6 months later, right? Like give or take a month. The car's done. Obviously, it took about a month and 1 or 2 weeks before I got the car back, which sucked. Um, so what was going on was when the guy got the car, he was like, "Hey, we're gonna start on the car either this Friday, if not Monday, and it should take about 3 days." So I call him. I figured, well, let's say they're just gonna start on Monday because it's already Friday. Monday, it'd be done Wednesday, right? So I called Tuesday and asked, how things are going with the car, and he's like, "Oh, we haven't had a chance to start on it." All right, cool, no problem. They're probably really busy. So he's like, "We're gonna start on it Thursday. It should be done Monday." All right, cool. I call. I think it was Monday. Yeah, I called them Monday and I was like, "Hey, is the car done?" Um, and then the guy's like, "Oh, we haven't even started on it." So this went on for about like those 2 weeks, maybe a third. I don't remember. But that second time that he was like, "You know what? We haven't even started on it." I took it upon myself to go to where that shop is located, and I was like, "You know what? I want to see if they've even gotten the car in." And to no surprise, I got there and the car was still in the exact same spot that I left it when I got it towed there. So that pissed me off a lot. Eventually, when they finally started on the car, um, they try to tell me, "Oh, we're gonna have to uh, replace the master cylinder," which I looked up on this car, and on the Focus, from what I could find on the forums, when you replace the master cylinder, it's pretty much you're replacing the whole like clutch pedal assembly. Um, and I was like, all right. So you know, I got the car back, let's say a month and a half later, right? When I go pick up the car, there was a lot of things I didn't really pay attention to as soon as I got into the car, just because I was so glad to have it back. But I did notice that the pedal felt a little weird. And I was like, well, could just be me. I haven't driven a manual car in a while. It's been this long, or I haven't driven, yeah, well, any manual car really, in that amount of time. Um,
So I was just happy as hell. But the first thing I noticed was the car smelled like smoke, and I was just like, you know, it was in the shop. They probably smoke in the shop or something. I don't know. So, you know, I rolled the windows down, but then I drove all the way home with the windows down, and I get home and it still smelled like smoke. The day after, it still smelled like smoke. I think I got like the cigarette smoke smell out of my car in like maybe a week and a half after getting it. And on top of that, I noticed that around my fog light, there was they like damaged the paint. How? I don't know. And then so my car smelled like a smoker was living in it. They damaged the paint, and then on top of that, I, you know, after checking it myself with the bleeder, I realized that they didn't even bleed the clutch. So it wasn't that they needed to replace the master cylinder, which I'll get to that in a bit, but they just didn't bleed the clutch properly. So, you know, once I noticed that they didn't even bleed the clutch properly, I was like, you know, if they lied, if they didn't do that right, what else did they not do, or just not do properly? So I actually looked down to look at my clutch pedal, and I was like, it looks exactly the same, you know, as far as like wear and tear marks on it. And I was like, well, I mean, I've been driving it for about, you know, 2 days now. My shoes probably just got it dirty or something. But no, when I wiped it away, you know, it had, you know, wear and tear you'd expect for at the time. But 3-year-old car, 4-year-old car, maybe. If it was, when did I get it back? I think we were in 2021 already. Um, no, yeah, I was still in 2020. But yeah, so you know, and then I looked under, and you know, and it under the dash, it's not really somewhere where you can really just kind of clean like everything else, and or even really matter to clean. But pretty much, you know, like those parts have like grease or whatever from the factory, and dust sticks to them, and then you have that like grimy grease, dust, whatever you want to call it, like caked on there. Everything was absolutely untouched under there. So not only did they lie about replacing the slave cylinder, they didn't do the clutch job. Like they didn't bleed the clutch properly, which I had to do myself twice. You know, I got most of the air out, drove it for a bit, or yeah, I think I drove it just around my neighborhood and then back, and then I bled it again, and then it, you know, back to where it was. Um, it was just a really shitty job that they did. Like if I would have known, and I have a buddy who started working at this like a performance shop, you know, if I'd have known it was cool with him and his job, like for me to have just done that there, like you know, like on the weekends, you know, when they're closed, or not necessarily closed, but they have time to work on their own cars. I honestly would have just taken it there, because the only reason I didn't want to do the job myself, or like I just didn't want to drop the trans myself, because I didn't have access to a lift. And I did all of this initially on the floor, and basically alone. David did help me a good bit, but you know, I didn't want to hold him up, and it ended up taking me all night just to, you know, drop the trans, open it, you know, replace the synchros, just to find out the shift fork was the actual problem, and yada yada. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened. I recently had to replace the shift cable, as you guys know if you've watched the video before this. That wasn't too bad. Annoying, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, sorry for taking so long to upload. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm editing the videos myself now. So I'm not good at it. You know, like it's gonna take me time to like I guess kind of get the hang of it. But I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys enjoy kind of like my taste of humor. I feel like this video just wasn't really that great. It was so long ago that I don't know, I just kind of lost touch with it, I guess you could say. So editing it was kind of like meh. But yeah, sorry for the delay in videos. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.